All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the closing ceremony for the Quarkus Supersonic Subatomic Java Hackathon. So it's been a great couple of weeks. I'm sure you all have had some ups and downs and interesting experiences with Quarkus, and this is going to complete the hackathon today. So what it wanted to do was go through a few of the different submission process things. There's a couple things we want to talk about, and just so in case you guys are curious or have any questions on how to submit, how to do that. So I'm going to go through that process today and also give you a little bit more information along the way. So just a couple things to recap is that we are going to give away $30,000 in prizes. So we've got a couple categories. So one is going to be the best overall. So that's going to be a $10,000 cash prize for that one. So every application that's submitted for the hackathon will be eligible for the best overall category. And then you have the option of choosing a subcategory if it applies to your particular application. So we're going to have a prize category for the best serverless app, the best Kubernetes native app, best IoT app, and the best modernized app. So in theory, the you can actually win $15,000. So you can have the best overall app and also win in your subcategory if that applies to you. So we've got some details around the subcategories in terms of what makes it a serverless app. We really kept it pretty broad and general. So there's some more information in the rules area around each one. The only one that's a little bit different is the best modernized app. So as you can imagine, if you're submitting to this one, the idea is that you're taking an existing Java application and quarkifying it, so to speak, and using Quarkus libraries. And so in that scenario, um, part of the judging criteria is really, not only what you did, but how did you improve the performance. So there we're looking for a little bit of before and after metrics, so just some basic stuff. So if you are looking to do that or did that, make sure you provide us some metrics. I don't know, like the start times, amount of memory utilized, time to first response, maybe. Those are just some ideas. We really kept it pretty open, but obviously, if you can capture some, I guess, point in time metrics in terms of where the application was before versus where it's at, obviously that'll be really compelling. And I think anyone who's looking at that category has probably already seen the impact of the Quarkus framework with existing applications. So I just wanted to kind of walk you through that. Let's go over to the enablement schedule, just kind of give everyone an update of where we're at. So obviously we kicked off on June 17th, and we had an enablement week. And I apologize, the master courses, those were a live event. So the team that runs those has not made those available on demand at this point. So they are not available. If you made it, if you were able to attend, great. There were some folks who were interested in attending afterwards, and those are not available. What we'll do is that team has stated that they want to make those available sometime soon. So what we can do is make sure we send out a notification to folks that they are available. So we encourage you, obviously, even beyond this hackathon, to take a look if you're interested in those master courses there. Think of them as a 101 and a 201 level where they're really great information. If you've liked your experience and want to know more about Quarkus, that's a great place to start. So we'll send that information out. So really today is the submission date, the final time period which you can submit your application. Then we're going to go off into this phase where we're going to look at making sure all submissions are eligible. We're going to probably the first week of August, we'll send out a notification via the DevPost site as well as a Zulip chat. And we'll probably send it out on the social channels as well to hit as many people as possible. But we're going to down select the finalists. So far, what we've seen, there's been a number of applications submitted already and a lot of good ones. So we're going to try to narrow that down to some finalists so we can, I guess, narrow the focus, so to speak. And then on everything culminates on August 14th, Friday at 10 a.m. We're going to do a live judging and winner announcement. So the goal here is that the judges will be essentially real time evaluating the applications, having discussions about them, talking to each other about what they liked, what they disliked, and those kind of things. And then they're going to enter their scores in. So we'll have a winner at the end of that session. So that'll be exciting. We haven't done that before, so you might want to bear with us as we kind of go through the live process there. So with that being said, let's go in and just kind of walk you through the process of what it looks like to do a submission. Um, One last thing, since we are essentially in the 11th hour, applications are due today at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We anticipate there being a rush of people finishing their applications, may have questions. The best place that you can get questions answered quickly is the Zulip uh, chat. So once again, Zulip is the main chat room for the Quarkus community. So this is where all the Quarkus experts reside and live, and they have their Zulip chat opened up. So feel free to enter in. We have a stream within there for the hackathon. If it's hackathon related questions, feel free to do that. And if it's just general Quarkus questions, I would encourage you to submit to the general Quarkus community at large, and your questions will be answered much quicker there than say through the DevPost site. So make sure you do that. So if we kind of go in and you're ready to submit your application, if I click on continue submission here, I filled out some of this already. But from a high level, obviously name your project and something that's obviously descriptive and distinctive, so we don't have a bunch of Quark projects going on. And then just a little bit of an elevator pitch. Give us a high level summary because this is gonna help us because it's looking like we're gonna have a lot of submissions. And as always, it's nice to stand out. So just give us a little bit of an elevator pitch on your project and what it's built with. This is great to see what APIs, what frameworks, what libraries people used. Um, the more information we have here, the better we can. I guess it's more for us in terms of figuring out what people use, how they used it, and we'll kind of look at from a community perspective. I'm sure there's going to be things that stood out, and we'll be looking at those things and trying to provide and give you guys more of what you want. The ability to you have the ability to invite your teammates in. So especially there's a lot of teams here. So if you guys want to work together in terms of submission, maybe someone works on one section versus the other. There's an area there to do that. And really, kind of the main part is give us the story. So we gave you some anchors and some suggestions in terms of what information to provide, but obviously feel free to to create and write whatever you like here. This is going to be an important section, in my opinion, to really just give us the background, the driving force, especially some applications we or the judges may not know the challenges that a certain industry or an individual faces. And so this is a great way to kind of pose why you did it and what problem it solves. And so really, I would encourage you to spend a little bit of time here. Give yourself a little bit of time to write down some information in your story because that's really what it's all about, right? Is the story that the application um, applies to. So image gallery, any sort of screenshots maybe, or well, I guess anything that's to support that story will be great here. And then if you want to try it out, there's a link here for us if exposed front end face to actually get access to the application. That'd be great. You'll see further on down the line we've got if your application doesn't have a nice pretty front end, we can you'll be submitting via your open source repository. And then lastly, a video. Don't try to make this too big of a deal, right? Don't try to edit it and make it curated and neat and clean. We just want to hear from you. We want to see you go through your code, do a demo. I would suggest do a demo. Maybe take us into some interesting snippets. If you did a modernized an application, maybe show us some before and after. If you want to just do the before and after metrics, that'd be great there. So just show us a little bit about really this is the video to support the why your story and why you did it. Um, I realize that videos can take a while, and especially if you get into some heavy editing, please don't keep them below 5 minutes, of course, if you can. We just want to hear from you, but please don't worry about it having to be perfect, right? We've especially all the judges I know for a fact have done plenty of videos before, so they've been there and done that. So if I continue on here. Any files that you need to include with your application, send those as well. And then key is the submitter type. Obviously, if you're submitting on behalf of a team, pick that. If you're an individual, there's a section for that as well. And country of residence. I think, as a side note here, I think we made an announcement. There are certain countries that are ineligible. Uh, first off, we apologize. This is more of a legal issue, and especially it's a legal issue in terms of distributing cash prizes from the United States to other countries. These are all things that either you can't control or we can't control. So we did notice that there are a number of folks from Brazil who were registered. So please know that certain folks are not eligible, and those list of countries are in the rules. So if you do a search on that, what I would say is if you are from Brazil, and this is completely up to you, consider submitting anyways. We we as the community, the whole community is kind of interested in watching to see what applications are created. So there will be opportunities for the community to kind of to see your applications, and maybe you can individually hook up with some community members that can help mentor you. We've already seen some of that going on. So if you're interested and you are from one of the ineligible countries, please don't think that the work you did was a wasted effort. I know from a cash prize perspective, it may be looked at that, but if you're interested, please submit and reach out to the group and we'll start a dialogue there. From there's a category section, obviously. So once again, every application that's submitted is eligible for the best overall. And then if your application applies to a subcategory like serverless, Kubernetes native, IoT, and modernized, please select the appropriate category there. And then probably most important is the URL to your repository. So we obviously will probably be taking a look at the code to kind of see what you all did, and I know the judges are excited about digging into some of these and really seeing the great work you guys are doing. So please send us the link for that. One last thing. So if you do a modernized app, if you could send the code or the branch, the before and after, we'd love to take a look at that. That's going to weigh heavily on the criteria for award in that category. So please submit the original code repository. One thing that came up that's a good point is that some folks had expressed the interest to obviously continue on after the submission period and work on their projects, open source projects. So if that's the case, if you want to continue to work on your project, please tag it, use a tag or do a branch and let us know what that tag is because we obviously need to evaluate the application from the submission period date. We can't give people extra time. So and there will be a period of probably 2 to 3 weeks here that we're going to be looking at it. So please tag your repositories with the submission dates, and then that way that would allow you to keep working on these things, and then we can properly evaluate them. All right, and lastly, it's really just a signing off on all the click check marks here, and then completing a submission. So that's really it. It's pretty straightforward. If for some reason anyone has any issues running into this, once again, the Zulip chat. And if you don't want to deal with downloading the Zulip chat, please, there is a discussion section here. Go back. Um, there's a discussion section on quarkus.devpost.com. Please post any issues you've got there, or maybe you see any issues that other folks will will experience as well. So please send those there, and then we'll answer those. We'll be watching obviously as the day goes on, because we are in submission on the submission date. So really that's it. I just wanted to kind of wrap up things and give you an overview. I'll send a link to this video out and post it in the discussion section so you guys can watch it if you're towards the end of the day and submitting. Other than that, we look forward to getting your applications, and we'll send out some information around down selecting the finalists, and then we'll also publicize and make sure everyone knows the live judging and the award ceremony on August 14th, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And with that being said, we really enjoyed it so far. We're looking to do maybe some more of these. So we love your feedback. So feel free to enter your feedback afterwards in the discussions or any questions. Let us know. All right, so that's it, folks. Thank you very much.